What's up, everyone? Another episode of Season Ticket flooding the airwaves. Dan Hooley here, along with my good friend Scott Schroff.
Hello, people.
And Bernardo Sanchez.
Hello, everybody.
We got a lot of baseball and a lot of football to be talking about today, so we're going to get right into it with Colton Wong getting a 5-year, $25 million contract extension with the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a very notable thing, I would say.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, he's been up and coming kind of player. He's been really good these past couple of years, and I think he's going to be good. Well, he's going to be even better to come, especially with the Cardinals relying more on guys like him in the lineup.
Isn't he young too? 25 years old?
Yeah, he's 25 years old. So the thing is, they also have a $12.5 million club option for his age 31 season, so they could take him into that far, but that would be a lot of money. This whole contract is completely backloaded, so he's only making like $2 million next year, like $4 million the year after. By the end of his contract, he'll be making like $10 million, but that'll only be for like a year.
That being said, if you break it down, he's only earning $5 million a year. That's relatively cheap as far as the market goes.
Yeah, exactly. And for cheap, I mean, they're buying out all of his arbitration years and then 2 of his free agent years for about $5 million a year, which seems low, which is very low for the kind of player that he is and that he's supposed to be. So I think the Cardinals did a very good job with this, but is this fair to the player? I don't necessarily know. Well, he got 11 home runs last year, 62 RBIs, 321 on base. He also had a 260 average.
And he's a second baseman, so those are very solid
Exactly,
numbers.
because second basemen aren't expected to put up like big numbers, and these are very, very valid numbers for a second baseman, any second baseman. He was the 4th best second baseman in all the game, I think, last year, if you go by WAR.
Yeah. Talking more about contract extensions, Salvador Perez, the catcher for the Kansas City Royals, also received a 5-year, $52 million extension. He's a year older, 26 years old. He had 21 home runs, 70 runs, a 260 average. That's good stuff. He's a 3-time All-Star. Very notable for his defense.
Yeah, very good, very strong arm. He's one of probably the best all-around catcher if you're going to give anyone, because Yadier Molina is getting older. Buster Posey, he's not as good defensively as he used to be. I think he's definitely one of the better ones in the game. He originally signed a 5-year, $7 million contract in 2013, which is a lot lower than this, specifically $45 million lower than this, and he was kind of like, can I get an extension? Clearly I've been playing up to this level, and the Royals, a good organization, actually granted him that rather than making him play on, like, shit's pay.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, over $1 million a year.
That's a rarity if you really think about it. Usually it'll just be like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is nice. I mean, I hate the Royals for everything they've done, but I like the Royals for everything they've done.
Those bastards. Well, we will see them on April 3rd, starting
Yes,
to say.
we will. A month from now.
Exactly.
We're talking about the Mets-Royals game, anybody that's
who
not
actually
sure.
got kind of raped by the watching the Nationals, but it is spring training. We'll keep that to a minimum.
Yeah, so... All right.
And I'm just
very interesting story.
Gonna forsake being PC, as I just said, rape on you.
Yes, that's how we do that.
That was the thing that was said. Talking some more baseball, Aroldis Chapman suspended 30 games for allegedly choking his girlfriend and shooting a gun 8 times out of a window in October. While no legal action was sought nor taken, the MLB still moved ahead and suspended him. There's no apparent appeal sought out by Chapman, and it's going to cost him $2 million roughly in fines. That's what we're told.
Yeah,
what could he appeal anyway? Like, it's
you can appeal like for any suspension. You can appeal and try to get it lower.
Yeah, but like, there's nothing in his face.
Well, he said he never touched his girlfriend. He said he never choked her. So that's the alleged. But he admitted that he shot a gun 8 times out of a window.
That in itself.
And that's the commissioner, when he gave out this, he said, when I took this into account, I thought mainly about the shooting out the window and the firearm like code or whatever, and said, okay, this 30 game suspension is going to be what's going to happen taking no appeal is actually something very different than in a lot of other sports. Basketball, they always take appeals. Football is the city of appeals.
Yeah.
They're still appealing Deflategate to this day. Give it up, bro. You're still the Patriots.
Tom Brady, they might reinstate that 4-game suspension that he appealed.
Yeah, who knows?
A full season after. Literally a full season after.
It's honestly ridiculous.
Yeah.
And seeing no appeal is like, okay, he's manning up for what he's taken, but that's 30 games. And the Yankees, he's projected to be the Yankees closer this year. If you'll remember, earlier in the offseason, The Dodgers were supposedly going to acquire him, but then the reports came out about this alleged, situation that happened on October 30th. And then the Dodgers were like, no, take him back.
You keep him.
You can have him. And then the Yankees came in and were like, we'll take him anyway because we're the Cowboys of baseball. So, yeah, it'll cost him $2 million, and that's crazy. Yeah. Because, I mean, 30 games for a closer, that's a lot. That's like, who knows, depending on how the Yankees are.
Chapman got to stop fucking up, all right?
Yeah,
you allegedly choke your girlfriend, which, come on, man. If she wants to date you, why are you the fuck are you choking her? Yeah, she wants to be with you, and you're like, nah, man, I'm going to try to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the situation, of course, right. But obviously there's no excuse for anything. It's terrible, and it shouldn't have happened, but the MLB pointed out justice. And you could also look out for Jose Reyes to receive an extension and possibly not an extension. Well, maybe an extension.
He's an asshole, but we're signing him more. Who's running this? The Dallas Cowboys?
A suspension, probably similar to the one of Aroldis Chapman. And then we also have Yasiel Puig awaiting what's going to happen with his supposed domestic abuse scandal. I don't know exactly the full story on that, but that's how that went.
We're talking some football here. Roddy White, a 10-year veteran for the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons.
Area.
Was cut after almost 11,000 career yards, 60 touchdowns, and over 800 receptions. He still has 2 years, $12 million left on his deal.
Yeah, all those stats, by the way, are franchise big. He's the best receiver in Falcons history.
Yardage, that's Hall of Fame worth.
Exactly.
Hall of Fame worth.
He's definitely a very good player. I really like Roddy White. He's 34 now, which is older in football.
Yeah, if he could just stay healthy, then I can see him going to the Bucks.
Exactly. Some team that exactly, the Bucks, because his old offensive coordinator is there, Dirk Cotter, maybe there's some kind of chemistry there, you don't really know.
I mean, they already got pocket pass from Jameis Winston throwing for 4,000
Exactly,
yards.
and if you could put a veteran there along with Mike Evans and the other guys, Vincent Jackson, it would be nice to have that receiving core for young Jameis Winston as he's coming up on the rise. There was like $12 million left on his deal at the time of this, so they were like, we can get a guy for cheaper. And Matt Ryan's a decent quarterback, so he should be able to.
His numbers speak otherwise.
He's a decent quarterback. I'd take him on the Jets. No, maybe not over Fitzpatrick.
No,
I don't know.
I just feel like
you want to give Fitz to Kirk? Come on, man. After all he's done for you, that's how you think.
Right, he gave us
the fuck out.
He gave us 1 year of mediocre play. I mean, he did really good, but it's
just went 10-6. What?
But did we make the playoffs? That's what matters, right?
It's not his fault. Brandon Marshall deserves.
I mean, he fucked up in the last game. All
right. You know what? We gotta admit that Fitzpatrick pretty much got screwed. How do you have an 11-5 season? You still don't make the goddamn playoffs?
I don't know.
That's something I want to talk about.
It's ridiculous. But yet, back to Matt Ryan. Well, you have a great running game in Devontae Freeman. You have Julio Jones.
Devontae Freeman did get hurt.
Yeah,
did get hurt.
But you know what I mean.
Okay.
For the first part, he was doing great. You have Julio Jones,
really good,
who had another record.
I mean, Julio Jones is going to end up. I think Julio Jones is going to end up, if he stays in the Falcons, surpassing all of Roddy White's records.
Oh yeah,
probably. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
He might. The way he's going, he might break Megatron's single season record, and
maybe if he has a good season, I could easily see it happening.
He was like less than 100 yards away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Him and Antonio Brown. But back to Matt Ryan, he has all those guys. He has possibly the best wide receiver in the league right now in Julio Jones, but yet you still have decent numbers. With those weapons, you have to have a way better season than that.
You would think so, at least.
Yeah, Pro Bowl, at least a Pro Bowl.
I don't know. He's still a decent quarterback. He's their franchise quarterback. He's also getting older, too, so there's that.
But getting back to Roddy White, there is thought and general talk of him going to the Buccaneers because his former offensive coordinator, Dirk Cotter, great name, is the new head coach down in Tampa Bay.
So we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. I mean, we did mention that earlier. Bernardo did mention that earlier, but I think it's a good. I don't know if any of you guys want to chime in. We'll mention some of your things on what you think of maybe Roddy White or any of the stories coming up. You can interact with us. Just if it's on the topic, we'll talk about it.
Or they could just call us the three nerds from The Simpsons. This one guy just called us.
Exactly.
So that was the thing that was said, and we'll live with that now.
Yeah. Anyway, Roddy White, definitely an interesting piece. Every receiver that gets cut, I think automatically Patriots, and I don't know why, but I can see a lot of people going to the Patriots.
Talk a little bit about the Baltimore Ravens. Joe Flacco. Jesus Christ, I'm terrible today. Got a new 3-year, $66 million deal. as quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. He has a $40 million signing bonus, holding the record. I don't know whether it's a season or a season.
Well, that's the record for biggest signing bonus ever. I'm not sure.
For the team or for
No, for just all of football, because that's fucking ridiculous. That's giving you $40 million at one time.
Yeah.
The reason they give the signing bonus out is because that has nothing to do with your cap. And the NFL teams, considering there's a cap, they're like, okay, let me give you all this money as a signing bonus instead of giving it to you per year, because why not just give you the signing bonus money? Yeah, he did get that Super Bowl, which, I mean, there's the whole, is Joe Flacco elite type thing? I don't know, but he's a franchise quarterback.
No, he's definitely...
You know what?
Well, now you go first.
Wow, I feel good. But you know what? God damn it, he's got a ring. He brought him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And them, the defense, I mean, it's him, also that other guy we don't like to mention sometimes, Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
Last year Flacco, he's 31 years old now, tore his ACL last year, week 11. For the record.
Leg. Me, him, and Green Square.
Yeah, all have torn ACLs. He was having a really bad year last year.
Yeah, but still, like, he
had no wide receivers.
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
So
besides who, Steve Smith? Senior?
Yeah, basically. I mean, he's old, too.
You know what?
Yeah, he's still a great wide receiver in the league.
People that always shit on quarterbacks, it's, if they have nobody to throw to, what are they going to do?
Not everyone can be Tom Brady.
Exactly. What are you going to Cam Newton every play, just run it in yourself?
Exactly. So.
No, but back to...
He threw 14 interceptions last year, so up there with Peyton Manning as the worst, which is weird to say. Joe Flacco and Peyton Manning up there for like the worst touchdown to quarterback ratio of the year. That's weird, considering both have rings.
I've never heard of that before.
No, but back to Joe Flacco. I mean, he is a decent quarterback in the regular season, but I feel like he deserves that money when it comes to playoffs. He plays.
And if the Ravens can build a better team around him, they have the 6th overall pick this year. If they want to get someone decent, put them up there. Maybe someone for the defense, someone for their offense. I don't really know what they're looking for right now, but they got to get someone to help out their situation. And last year, I believe the wide receiver they drafted didn't play all year. He was hurt, kind of like a Kevin White situation. And the reason for this new Joe Flacco deal was because the Ravens needed to do this to get their cap down so they could actually sign other players, rather than Joe Flacco being like, "No, this is my money. Just don't sign any wide receivers." I'll just do this myself. Just give me the money. That's why they're like, all right, we'll give you this money as a signing bonus.
Which I'm kind of surprised. Such a huge signing bonus. I'm shocked that they would do this for a quarterback and not look for wide receivers, considering that was an issue.
Well, no, I mean, the $40 million signing bonus, that's just throwing money at him. It doesn't have to go to the cap.
You take that,
and then the $66 million. So Joe Flacco is getting paid. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Still talking some football here. Mason Crosby of the Green Bay Packers, the kicker for them, was re-signed to a 4-year, $16 million deal. That puts him at the 3rd highest paid kicker in the game currently, behind Justin Tucker. My God.
Yeah, he just received.
Gostkowski.
Justin Tucker just received the franchise tag. We'll talk about franchise tag players at the end of the show. Gostkowski, just an amazing kicker. He just gets paid because Gostkowski. He's a Patriots kicker. Anybody on the Patriots is just automatically amazing, apparently. So that's how that works. Mason Crosby, also 31 years old, like Joe Flacco, 9 years in the league, never missed a game, which I thought that was the biggest thing.
Dedication, right there.
Definitely worth the money.
I mean, kickers. I know, a lot of people say that you're a bunch of pussies.
Which I never understood. It's not like they're not a part of the game. They're kind of
they're a key part.
Big part of the team.
They decide the fucking game.
Yeah, they have a lot of game time winners because of that. But yeah, he's also the all-time scorer for the Packers. He has over 1,000 points.
That's great. And considering the Packers' history as an organization, I would say that's pretty.
And just
pretty damn
not
good.
Even just in records, just on the average, he has an 86% field goal percentage. That's a very good number.
Yeah, and that was his best season last year, and that's 9 seasons into his league. And from field goals over 50 yards last year, 80%.
And he holds the record in the postseason with over 9 consecutive field goals.
Yeah, so Mason Crosby, keep doing what you're doing. 4 years, $16 million.
You're going to do really well for yourself.
Yeah, it's definitely worth them.
That's why kickers, a lot of people talk about, contracts aren't guaranteed in the NFL. Kickers mainly keep most of their guarantee because they're just guys. If you have a good kicker, you hold on to your kicker. That's what I've learned, at least.
That's it. You hold on to the goddamn kicker.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, at least.
So we got another special person to talk about who also got a new deal. Sam Bradford of the Philadelphia Eagles got a 2-year, $26 million deal, guaranteed $36 million.
No, 26 was guaranteed, 36 overall.
Personally, I feel it was a big mistake. Sam Bradford.
Do you think it's a big mistake?
Yeah.
I mean, 3,700 yards last season. That's the most of his career.
Yes.
Also,
14 interception. Yes.
Yeah, he's. That's not even counting. He's fumbled a lot last year.
Yeah.
His turnovers are bad.
But he was playing in Chip Kelly's system, which I don't think fits Sam Bradford well at all. It might have fit Sam Bradford out of college, but it doesn't fit Sam Bradford well now. And going into the new offensive coordinator's scheme of things, Doug Peterson, well, not a new offensive coordinator, but he's like an offensive-minded coach, and their new head coach, Doug Peterson, they pretty much only need a game manager. So as long as Sam Bradford can be not horrible, then I think they'll make it far. He needs to be like an Alex Smith type of guy, because Alex Smith was the guy in Kansas City.
For me, the ultimate game manager in my book.
Yeah, Alex Smith is the ultimate game manager.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever win a ring, but he'll get paid, and he'll do good.
He's not going to get blamed for losing a game.
No, exactly, because he'll never mess up tremendously. I mean, he probably has, but not like
it's not up. But it's not like it's going to cost the game.
Exactly. Like he might throw. Yeah, he's the type of quarterback to put up 180 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's his type of game. Give it to Jamal Charles and stuff like that. And that's what they want Sam Bradford to be. Maybe introduce DeMarco Murray into the game some more, because he's an actual good quarterback. Running back.
Whoa,
fuck it. At this point, let's just put DeMarco Murray at.
I honestly, that might be how the Eagles are thinking right now. Like, God damn it, put anybody at quarterback.
But honestly, they have I just don't. Besides, they only have Riley Cooper as a wide receiver, and Matthews.
Matthews.
They don't have a good receiving core. They have a great running back core. What? DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews.
Definitely.
And Darren
Sproles, of course.
Great running back core they have, but.
And they didn't even use them last year. Chip Kelly's system was fucked. The Eagles are going to be completely different this year, despite the amount of same players that they have. I think the same players are going to do better under Doug Peterson's system.
The thing is, Chip Kelly messed up. He got rid of his 3 basically main players, which was
Deshaun Jackson,
LaShawn McCoy, and Michael Vick.
Yeah, well.
Michael Vick's a different case.
I understand Michael Vick,
but that was
somebody like Michael Vick. That's what he needed to get.
Yeah, that's what I think.
You can't really that was just a goddamn blunder by their coach.
Honestly, if Chip Kelly wanted to do good in Philadelphia, I think he should have done everything that he could to get Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
because that was his only chance of doing anything.
Or at least go out of his way to keep Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy.
And then trading Nick Foles for Sam Bradford. I was like, what is going on? I don't know if that's good or bad, because they both had bad years.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Well, Sam Bradford had a better year. Okay, but
he just does not fit in that offense.
And is there anyone in the NFL that fits into that offense
besides Marcus Mariota?
And even then, the Titans now are trying to make him more of a normal quarterback. But
put Russell Wilson in there. RG3 too.
Yeah, RG. I don't know about RG3.
Well, actually, you know what? The way this is going, RG3 might need a place to go.
Yeah, he could end up being a backup.
Johnny Manziel if he gets his act together.
I don't think Johnny Manziel's going to be
if he gets his Johnny Manziel if he gets off the fucking sauce, maybe.
I said if he gets his act together.
Yeah, I highly doubt it.
Talking some Buffalo Bills here. They have moved around a little bit in their roster as far as that goes, cutting defensive end Mario Williams, offensive guard Craig Urbick, and running back Booby Dixon.
His name's Anthony, but they call him Booby Dixon.
I love being mentally 12. Yes. Williams, 5 sacks last year, 19 tackles, still a very good player. He fell out of favor with Rex Ryan, which may be the reason why he was cut. Urbick, he has been declining over the last few years.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's going to save... Getting rid of him is going to save the Bills some money. Mm-hmm. And, maybe he'll find some work on a less team.
Yeah, he could probably start for a lesser team, someone that's not looking to do too good. Probably not any big-name teams. Maybe, actually, you know what? Packers, Patriots, you never know, because you guys need depth at the offensive line, both of those teams. So I'm not even going to...
Yeah, besides, we have like one, for Packers, there's only one good player who made it to the Pro Bowl, actually, too.
Yeah.
Besides we don't really have much of an offensive line. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was getting sacked a lot, especially in big-time games.
Yeah, it still surprised me that they did as well as they did this season.
And with no receiving core, not much. I mean,
Randall
Cobb, I don't know where he went.
Who were the guys on the team?
Who even are you?
No, it was the wide receiving core was Devontae Adams.
And he wasn't doing good this year. I mean, he was doing worse than he did the previous year.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, Randall
Cobb.
He
lost Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
And
who were those other dudes?
Richard Rodgers.
Yeah, Richard Rodgers, the Hail Mary one. Then the other Hail Mary dude.
T.Y. Montgomery.
Yeah, who are these people?
Yeah,
it's nobody.
A bunch of no names. Besides Randall Cobb, the thing is, Randall Cobb, he needs an outside guy. He's a great number 2 receiver. He's a great slot.
Yeah, that's why Jordy Nelson put him in there. He's going to be good, which they're going to have this season. But Aaron Rodgers, you just got to be better. I don't know how we ended up talking about the Packers. We're still in the Bills cuts.
Oh, yeah.
Rounding off with these cuts being made, Booby Dixon, great name. He's a big body player. People have compared him to Eddie Lacy. He barely played this season because he was kind of shadowed by Carlos Williams and LaShawn McCoy. Yeah. But overall, a good player.
If you just look at the games, and I watched a lot of the Bills games because I actually like all their players.
Yeah,
then why aren't you a Bills fan?
I'm Packers before
That doesn't make sense.
I said I like their players. I never said I like the team.
So I like.
No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way with the Seahawks.
I like everybody on the team except for the team.
I like some of the players. No, I like some of the players.
What are you gonna just change your fanship?
No. Yes,
that's not what we do here.
Fucking front.
Just like if you look at this, if you just look at them, like let's say LaShawn McCoy is injured, then basically the entire load goes to Carlos Williams. If Carlos Williams is injured, then basically the whole load goes to LaShawn McCoy. They just basically
So Dixon was kind of being
LaShawn McCoy did have a few injury problems this season. And Carlos Williams stepped up big, rookie running back. He did very good this season, surprisingly. And then LaShawn McCoy is always going to be LaShawn McCoy, but who knows what's going to happen with him upcoming with those charges and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I just guarantee it. If it wasn't for LaShawn McCoy, Carlos Williams would have had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, probably. Carlos Williams did really good.
Yeah, because there's even been games where LaShawn McCoy and Carlos Williams both had 100-yard games in the same game.
And the Bills had a good line. Yeah. So the Bills, they were definitely good.
The load just goes to them.
We do have some to talk about.
Yeah, a little bit of the franchise tag players.
Franchise tag players, talking more football as we get closer to the opening of free agency in the NFL.
Before we get to that, also, we have to mention Arian Foster.
Yeah.
Arian Foster had in 7 seasons, had over 6,000 rushing yards, over 50 touchdowns, and averaged 4 yards a carry.
Arian Foster, great running back, can never stay healthy.
Yeah,
no.
He tore his Achilles twice, right?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. In back-to-back seasons, how do you tear your Achilles twice?
But the thing is, when he's healthy,
terrible luck.
When he's healthy, he's fantastic. When he's actually healthy, there's multiple seasons he's ran for over 1,400 yards, and the year became the leading rusher with over 1,600 yards, 17 rushing touchdowns in one season. The other one, he had 10 rushing touchdowns, and the other one before that, he had 14 touchdowns.
Yeah,
with over 15 rushing yards.
Well, he's one of those.
When he stays healthy, dominant.
Exactly.
Dominant
he's one of those guys that I like to call it the Robert Griffin effect. They could do so well if they could just stay fucking healthy. RG3, who we're actually going to get into.
I don't know about RG3 anymore because even when he did get healthy, now he's just not the same guy as he used to be.
After
he hasn't been good since that one playoff.
Because he wanted to be the quote unquote pocket passer, which he isn't.
And one thing is, when he was playing his game, the way he played his game, he did great. He was a great passer, too. Yeah. Because he ran the ball really well, and because of the threat of his legs, he was able to pass more comfortably because he would be able to go outside the pocket. Yeah. And he was decent inside the pocket, too. He wasn't horrible, but he can't just stick to that.
Yeah, his rookie year.
Same thing with Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
You got to be able to let these guys play their game. Regardless, if you don't want them on your team, you don't want to play that game, that's fine. But don't expect production out of these guys, and especially RG3 now, being that he doesn't run as much. But I don't. If a team's going to pick up RG3, if a team's going to trade for Colin Kaepernick, let them play their game. Except for the Jets, please don't get Colin Kaepernick. Just
stay away.
You actually found the quarterback with him.
All right, so we're going to get into the franchise tag players. If anybody doesn't know what the franchise tag is, it's when you put a franchise tag on a player, like a organization can put a tag on the player. And it means that they can sign them for that specific amount, and it's like the average of all the highest paid players at their position. And another team could sign them, and when they tag them as well, they could also work out an extension or a new contract to maximize the amount of years and dollars. But another team could sign them, but then that team also has to give up 2 first-round picks, which is a very unlikely scenario because a lot of teams do not want to give up that, so it rarely ever happens. So franchise tag players, I'm going to go down the list, and then we're going to go back and talk about each of them. Broncos. Outside linebacker, Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP.
Wow.
Bills, tackle, Cordy Glenn. Chiefs, free safety, Eric Berry, beat cancer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Washington quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Last year, made $600,000. This year, going to make $19 million.
Wow.
That's
such
an increase.
Yeah,
it's honestly.
Well, he's had a good season.
He turned around his performance so much.
Is he worth it? I don't know whether he's worth it, but the Redskins are like, they need somebody. They're not going to go back to RG3. Yeah, they're not going to do that.
So far, he's just the most stable thing they've had in a while. So they'll just keep him for now.
Yeah, after Kirk Cousins, Bears wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey. Great wide receiver. Yeah. I like him a lot.
Yeah, deserves
Panthers quarterback Josh Norman, breakout season this season. Very good. I mean, I don't know about that. Jets defensive end, Muhammad Wilkerson. There's a lot of debate over that. And Ravens kicker, Justin Tucker. The amount these guys are being paid, Von Miller will get $12 million unless they work out an extension, which happens a lot. Cordy Glenn, $12 million. Free safety, Eric Berry, $9 million. Washington quarterback, as we mentioned, $19 million, almost $20 million. Alshon Jeffrey, a little over $12 million. Josh Norman, $12 million. Apparently $12 million is a popular number because Muhammad Wilkerson, over $12 million as well. And then Justin Tucker, a kicker, only gets $4 million. But
or Justin Tucker.
Yeah, and then there are also 2 different kind of tags given out. The transition tag, which very confusing, and you don't even need to know about it. But here we go. Dolphins defensive end Olivier Vernon was transition tagged at $12.7 million. This means that the team can match any offer made to him, or he can sign that tag for that amount of money. So, but
this is very fucking confusing.
Yeah, but the Dolphins can match any other offer, so they can make an offer and the Dolphins can match it, as opposed to he can't pick someone else over the Dolphins if the Dolphins are offering the same amount of money.
Right.
It's basically how that works. And, he's coming off of a 7-sack, 61 tackle season. Very good for the Dolphins. Dolphins have a good line. I mean, Sue kind of underperformed, but he picked it up a little bit later in the season.
Still underperformed because the man has like $100 million contract. Like, you got to do a lot.
Yeah, you got to do a lot better than he did, of course.
You got to earn that kind of money.
And then another franchise tag given out to Rams quarterback Jermaine Johnson. Sorry, not Jackson. And, $14 million for that. 7 interceptions this year. Also a 25-year-old guy. And then Janorius Jenkins will be going to free agency off of that.
So a lot of movement.
A lot of tags.
Football
world. Not really movement because they're staying in the same place, but...
The wheels are turning.
Yeah, just a lot of money being given out. And a lot of these guys are going to end up with extensions that we're going to talk about here because nobody really wants to play on that 1-year contract. So, yeah, I know. But Josh Norman, very good player. Muhammad Wilkerson, these are all great players.
Well, I mean, Von Miller was Super Bowl MVP.
They only do this if they think you're worth keeping around. I mean, a lot of guys, some guys might be surprised at Cordy Glenn in that, but you need a left tackle. You need a guy to protect your blind side. And with the rise of the Bills quarterback that I'm forgetting the name of, and I'm losing Tyrod Taylor. Yes, I remember him beating the Jets badly, and I don't want to remember your name anymore.
I have completely blocked him in my mind.
Forget that he was a backup for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I remember. That's true. They would bring him in for some Wildcat packages too back in the day. It was 4 years ago.
Obviously, it did a lot of good for him being the backup because now he's killing it and.
Buffalo. Very interesting. All right, we're gonna be wrapping up the show here. But anyone watching on Periscope, stick around. We're gonna do our after show.
We have our half-hour after show after each end of the Spreaker episode. So if you're listening to us on Spreaker, you're probably listening on downloads because that's all anybody does on Spreaker.
It doesn't matter, regardless of the situation.
Check us out on Periscope.
Anybody watching Periscope, again,
you get a half-hour show coming after us. For the guy that asked our question, we do have a YouTube page at seasonticketsports.com. So
that is not true at all.
Yep. Oh, wow. Woo.
It's just Season Ticket Sports.
Season Ticket Sports on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube.
I'm doing terrible today. But, so we'll talk with you guys on Monday, and on Spreaker at least, we'll see you in the cheap seats.